NFC Championship games. Why do you still consider him a bad man?
Because we have two eyes and we
Stephen
can
A.,
see.
what do you say?
We have two eyes and we can see. He is a bad man. It wasn't his damn fault they lost the game. What kind of a question is that? You're an English major. You're going to a prestigious institution like Morehouse, and you send in a ridiculous question like that? Jonathan Jackson, what the hell's the matter with you? Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. Don't you ever forget that.
Well, he's a bad man, but Jonathan Jackson, senior English major, is not wrong. You're right, Stephen A. He ain't the reason they lost, but he ain't the reason they won either, and they had chances to win. If Rodgers was a little better and there was opportunity, there was daylight to the end zone, he didn't see it, he didn't run, they'd have been on the 1 yard line. Coach should have gone for it then.
He had another
He had chances. He had chances.
He had another down to go,
but he didn't do it.
But
Tom Brady won the Super Bowl.
Coach LaFleur decided to go in a different direction. It's not his fault.
He won the MVP that day.
Next
MVP
question.
all year.
Arians weighed in on why he believed Tom Brady decided to depart from the Patriot way and join the Buccaneers. He said, quote, "I think his competitive spirit is so strong that he wanted to do it. He wanted to show people. I've never said anything bad about Bill Belichick. I know everybody tries to say I do. His record speaks for itself. He is probably the greatest one ever, but I think Brady wanted to try a different way." Max, was Arians taking a shot at Bill Belichick?
Yeah, pretty clearly, yes. And he doesn't even have to want to take the shot. That doesn't have to be his intention. I'm going to say something. I'm going to aim at Bill Belichick. But shots fired. Yeah, of course. Because as I keep saying, the number one sports debate of the 21st century in the United States of America is, was it more Brady or Belichick? I mean, you could say LeBron and MJ, starting, but that really got serious around 2016 when LeBron beat the 73-win Warriors. Then really, that's relatively recent. But for how long now? Was it more Brady or Belichick? It was the great debate. Then they parted ways. And Brady won a Super Bowl, Stephen A., year one. Now, I think this Bucs team is going to go down as one of the most loaded ever. When you look at what they did last, with Jameis Winston, 30 interceptions, still won 7 games. Then they added AB and Gronk and Leonard Fournette, playoff Lenny. They're loaded. But he didn't just make a playoff run. He won the Super Bowl, and Belichick missed the playoffs, and Belichick was under 500. So when Brady's new coach says, hey, Belichick's probably the greatest of all time, but I think Brady wanted to try another way. In other words, Brady can win Super Bowls without Belichick. That's not, the Patriot way is not just the Belichick way. That had a lot to do with Brady. You don't have to enter the no fun zone to win a Super Bowl. You could do it over here with me. Maybe if I had Brady that whole time doing it another way, I'd be the greatest coach of all time. Yes, I don't see, especially Stephen A., after what Brady just did, the kind of lead he has on Belichick at this moment, the way he has someone like me who I never thought I'd say it. Brady's way up on Belichick right now. For his new coach to come out and say what he said is a shot at Belichick.
I don't think it's a shot at Belichick, the coach, at all. Bruce Arians is in no position to take a shot at Belichick. Belichick still has 5 more rings than him as a head coach and 7 more rings than him overall. So let's get that straight. That's number one. Number two, or at least I think it's 7. Yeah. But let me say this to you.
Yeah, 2 with the Giants.
Yeah. Let me say this to you. He was taking a shot at Bill Belichick, the GM, because that's the difference. That's the difference. Brady going on the field and performing, he wasn't asked to, he had weapons so he could do things differently in terms of throwing the ball deep, but he was still a starting quarterback and, he did what he did on offense. The difference with Brady in Tampa compared to New England is that Brady wanted Antonio Brown. Bruce Arians said, okay, you can have Antonio Brown. Gronkowski wanted to retire in New England. Guess what? In Tampa, it was Brady's show. Gronk wants to come back. And so when you look at guys like that wanted to play with Brady, and Brady was basically the de facto GM for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and delivered a Super Bowl championship, when Bruce Arians is talking about a different way, Those weren't conversations that Brady could have. Bill Belichick didn't give a damn what he wanted. Bill Belichick was like, look, you quarterback, I will run this team. And the personnel that will be on this team is who I will select to be on this team. You have no say in that regard. So when Bruce Arians is alluding to that, it being a different way, I think that he's talking about Belichick, the GM, compared to Brady, the GM, not about Belichick, the coach, because Bruce Arians is in no position to question Bill Belichick as a coach, which he acknowledged.
But I think on this issue, Stephen A., it's not, you might be right. It might be an issue of overall process that includes collaboration in terms of personnel. But is he taking a shot at Belichick, to me, is a bigger question. You know, the Patriot way is Belichick the coach, Belichick the GM. It's Robert Kraft the owner. It's Tom Brady as quarterback. It's everything, right? But what was it mostly about? I'll take your point. I'll run with that. Bruce Arians is saying, well, if it's not collaborative, if it's he's the boss and that's it, yeah, they won that way. But I won collaborating with this dude. And you can do that. And so that is also a shot, even whether he means to or not, it's a shot at Belichick, especially now. Belichick's sitting there at 7-9. Tom Brady just won the Super Bowl, right? And he name checks Belichick, Arians does, and says they did it that way all those years. We did it this way 1 year. We got a ring. You don't have to just do it that way. That's a shot.
Well, listen, I'm not going to dispute that. I just wanted to be specific about it being the coach. You know, collaboratively speaking, you're right. The bottom line is Bill Belichick wasn't willing to work with somebody that Bruce Arians clearly was willing to. But why was Bruce Arians willing to do so? Because Bruce Arians walked into this season never having captured a Super Bowl championship, nor having even gone to a Super Bowl. Whereas with Bill Belichick, he had won 6 as the head coach. So Bill Belichick has a level of cachet that he didn't feel compelled to alter, the way that he did things. And we can respect and understand that. What I will say, however, is this. Now that has happened, Bill Belichick, I mean, listen, this season is a wash. We know COVID and what a role it played in dismantling the New England Patriots as we know it. This season coming up and beyond is going to say a lot about Bill Belichick because Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl championship. You got to remember, this is the 3rd Super Bowl title. And this is the way to look at it. This is the 3rd Super Bowl title in 5 years that Tom Brady has won since Jimmy Garoppolo was on New England and Bill Belichick wanted him to succeed Tom Brady. Ever since then,
right.
Tom Brady
fair to say, Stephen A.
Tom Brady has won 3 Super Bowls. He's been to 4 in 5 years.
And we'll see if the Bucs can do it again next year, Stephen A. Because if they do become repeat champions, they'll be the first team to do so since the Patriots.
I think the hiccup is that, remember,
intention of trading Deshaun Watson, but what if the offer is just too good to pass up? The Panthers are the latest team to express interest and from the sound of it are willing to go all in. Panthers reporter David Newton gave his perspective yesterday on NFL Live.
Panthers will do whatever it takes to get Deshaun Watson, and that includes giving up 3 first-round draft picks and Christian McCaffrey. Now, owner David Tepper wants to win a Super Bowl. He's made that clear. He understands it takes a marquee quarterback to do that. Now, if you look at recent history outside of Patrick Mahomes, the quickest way to do that is to trade for a marquee quarterback and not draft one in the first round. Just ask Tampa Bay.
Okay, Max, if it's offered, should the Texans take the Panthers deal?
No, they shouldn't. And let me first say that David Tepper, the owner of the Panthers, is right on the money here. Like, I take my hat off to him. They were good when he bought them, right? When he took over, they had a good coach and a good quarterback in Ron Rivera and Cam Newton. He said, yeah, we're good. I want to be great. I want to see if we can't do better. And he sees Deshaun Watson. He's like, I don't care. We need to do everything we can to get Deshaun. My hat's off.